The number of Roman Catholics in the community continues to grow, and they still constitute the largest demographic on the Rock in terms of religious beliefs. That said, the number of Catholics as an overall percentage of the population has declined over the years, dropping just over 5% in the 42 years between 1970 to 2012, with a far sharper decline of 8.6% in the decade that followed, although still making up close to two-thirds of the population in 2022. In 1970, the Muslim population was the second largest on the Rock and continued to be until a significant decrease in numbers reported in the early to mid-2000s, followed by a rebound between 2012 and 2022. Members of the Church of England were next, 7.9% of the population in 1970. That figure had fallen by just over 1% at the most recent count. The biggest change by far, however, has been seen among people stating that they have no religion, a response that wasn't even an option on the Gibraltar Census until 2001, when just under 3% identified as non-religious. Since then, it's the fastest growing demographic in Gibraltar. More than 7% gave this reply in 2012, and this more than doubled over the decade leading up to the last census. I asked the public for their view on this growth in recent years.
I think that's very, very sad. I think religion is very important. I think it's a shame that our faith isn't passed down as much as it should be. I think it's society in general nowadays.
I can understand that. There are so many things happening in the Vatican and within religion itself. I don't want to go into details. I don't want to offend anybody. But it's very hard to believe in something that it's not right. And I believe in cosmic justice and in the world, and that's my faith to that is bigger than religion. And again, a man is not going to tell me what's right or wrong.
I don't know, it's a wrong question for me because I'm religious, I'm a Roman Catholic, and I'm a practicing Roman Catholic, and I believe in God. It's very sad that the numbers have gone down. But I respect everybody for their views. But maybe they'll get to a stage when they need to turn to God.
I think that the form of religion that, say, I was brought up with, I'm in my 70s now, I don't think it's very relevant to modern life. So I can understand fully why people don't, for example, go to church like they used to, receive the sacraments like they used to, etc. In my case, I was brought up strictly as a Catholic. And by the time I was 15 or 16, I'd rejected it. And I would imagine that a lot of young people find that the way the church is run is not very appealing.
However, the man who will soon be the spiritual leader of the majority of people on the Rock was not concerned by this increase. Father Charlie shared some of his wisdom on the matter when he spoke to us on Gibraltar Today.
There will always be unbelievers. I am more concerned about those unbelievers who do become believers. And I can say that there is a trend that there are people who have been disillusioned with the world that we live around, and they want meaning in their lives, and they can find it in religion. I also respect those who don't find religion. And most important, I'm not a theologian, but one thing there's in the world of philosophy, it's metaphysics, and we talk about the attributes of God. And there is no doubt that some of these people who do not want to associate themselves with a religion have certainly wonderful attributes of God. Kindness, a great sense of hospitality, a great sense of love, a great sense of gratitude. So they may not say that they belong to a religion, but they certainly have the values of what we should all have.